Welcome, welcome, welcome. High Confessions 369. Celeste T here.
Yeah, BB Yosa, the big bulk. Yeah, let's get it. What we talking about?
Same old relationships, the do's and don'ts, We're
No.
going to react to some TikTok videos about relationships and see where it takes us in the conversation.
All right, let's see where it goes.
Let's see where it goes. And before we get started, we're going to put that disclaimer out there. The good old disclaimer. This is just our opinion. We're not trying to offend anyone. So just sit back, relax, like, share, subscribe, and let's get to it.
Yep.
That's why I say, bro, I ain't perfect, bro. If you my nigga, call me out on some bullshit that I'm doing. If I'm doing some fuck shit, nigga, call me out on it, man. Don't let me do no fuck shit if you my homie. You ain't my homie if you don't call me out on bullshit. I'm fat as hell. You ain't telling me to go to the gym. I'm speaking bullshit out my mouth, not making no sense. You just letting me talk. Cause I got money, you gonna let me talk. Cause I got some clout, you gonna let me talk. Bro, if I'm on some fuck shit, bro, if I'm not living right, bro, call me out on it. That's what homies supposed to be around for. That's what your girl supposed to be around for. Don't let me be out here looking a fool. If I'm dressed crazy, let me know. I don't need no yes men around me, bro. That's not how I move. And vice versa. If you doing some fuck shit, I'm gonna call you out on that shit.
Yeah, I feel like yes men are there for a reason. The reason that yes men are there is to see when they could take advantage. They trying to get you comfortable, and you know what I mean, and think you on their side, or they could sneak behind you.
Yeah, they just waiting to step on your back
Yeah.
to come up.
The motherfuckers who gonna question some of the shit you do, the questionable shit you do, them the motherfuckers who gonna keep you aligned. Them the motherfuckers who care. They be like, nigga, you sure you
Right.
like that? You know what I mean? You
Those
might
are the
want,
ones that care about your growth.
yeah. They invested in you, not in what you got.
Right.
You as a person or in your growth as a human being. You know what I mean? Not what you got,
Exactly.
what you can do.
Yeah. And like my growth right now is with this blunt because we getting close to 420.
Oh yeah.
So y'all gonna be seeing this blunt through the video. FYI.
Like fuck it. Right?
High confession. It's high confessions for a reason. But yeah, I had a lot of people in my life that was just yes, ma'am. You know what I mean? And it didn't. To me, I was like, in my head, I'm like, I know what I should do, but you telling me, oh, go with the fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I know in the past, a lot of times I just let shit happen just to see where people will go, and see where their intent will lead. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now I'm at the point where I learned all I need to learn from that shit. Now I could just eliminate the fucking problem before the shit happened. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I just don't have too many people in my circle anymore. Yeah, my circle is very small. It's hard to penetrate this circle. So
It's a small circle is a good circle if it's a strong circle. So that's the only thing that matters. It's not about how many motherfuckers
exactly.
in your circle. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, word on the street is they're trying to cancel Anthony Mackie for some comments he made during an interview about how he raises his son to be masculine men. Listen to this and tell me what y'all think.
I keep my boys humble. Like, my boys have never had a pair of Jordans. My boys don't do all that internet fly shit. I'm like, your kids. And no, I don't give a I could be the biggest star in the world. Do not let me catch you being stupid. Do not. And my oldest gets it. My 15-year-old, he tells the other ones, he's like, yo, don't make dad mad. Because once you get one that's right, he gonna straighten the other ones out. So it's just that thing of, in the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities, for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. Right. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open a door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. And that's always, since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night, this alarm is on, you text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up.
I love that.
Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect. Because you can have all the money in the world, climb through the window, that money means nothing.
Right.
You can have all the celebrity in the world, jump through the door, that celebrity means nothing.
Yeah.
So you got to have a little guard in there, you know? And so for me, it's always that idea of American masculinity is very...
Now, I've seen a lot of chatter talking about this as toxic masculinity. What? How? I actually agree with what he's saying, especially having a son. Like, I want my son to be a stand-up man. I want him to know how to protect mommy and his baby sister when daddy's not around. You know, I want him to assume that role of leader in every area of his life. Is that wrong? Y'all let me know what y'all think about what Anthony Mackie said and how you feel about the death of American masculinity in males. Is this a valid point that he's making? Is he full of it? Do you agree with that being toxic masculinity? Like, sound off. Let me know what y'all think.
What do y'all think about that? Drop it in the comments.
I think that everything that he was saying is how people should raise their sons. You know what I mean?
Right.
To be respectful, you know what I mean? To be the man of the house, you know, to make sure everything is secure, you know what I mean? To be responsible and accountable, you know what I mean? I don't know what's toxic about that. You know, it may just be the fact that whoever is in control, dominant society, whatever the hell you want to call them, they want people to be docile. So they want the men to be more feminine. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They don't want to have control. They want to have more control in the household. So in order for them to do that, they're gonna have to have more control within the youth. You know what I mean?
I know, me personally, I raise my boys to say yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Say thank you. You know what I'm saying? It's just common courtesy, just being polite and using polite words. They open the door for me, for their sister, for their girlfriends, for their grandma. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with having your boys learn how to protect when there's not a man around? You know what I'm saying? Like, if they have to take on that road, there's nothing wrong with that, because once they get their family, they're going to know what they have to do in order to protect and lead their family.
They don't want to protect it. You know what I mean? They want they want men to not have the protection sense activated naturally. You know what I mean? They want that to be deactivated. They want it to be, you know, they want control. You know what I mean? In order for them to do that, they want motherfuckers to just bend to their will. You know what I mean? They want to come in, be able to come in your house and just watch a motherfucker do some shit without any action or repercussion. Right. People to be scared to move. You know what I mean? It starts. Right. They're gonna pitch that shit to you and throw that shit to you in the mind. You know what I mean?
Right. And why do people gotta say in how you raise your kids? Why is people being offended on how you raise your kids?
Because it makes them feel some way about them, how they raise theirs. You know what I mean? Because he's saying they may be opposite of what he's saying. They may raise their kids opposite of what he's saying. So all right, feel offended. Oh, you know, people are so emotional. You know,
right.
He ain't telling you how to raise your kids. He's telling you how he raised his and why. You know what I mean? There's a rhyme and reason.
Exactly.
Bro, black men today, a lot of them are a lost cause. They really think being a real man is sitting around on panels with other men, going at it with women. This is the softest generation of men that has ever existed, because for the life of me, I can't understand being a man, having more smoke for a woman than a man. And then they always want to label it as correction. Are we correcting them? No, you're cussing women out on panels. And then let me tell you something. Black women should not stay with the black man. You cannot degrade a group of women on a panel and then say, well, we need to get back to a place of family. We need to get back to a place of God. Fam, that's done. You didn't meet her with any grace, sympathy, or empathy in the discussion. And now they're supposed to come back to a place of family? No, black women should actually walk away. There is no point of her staying with the black man or a lot of you niggas. Point blank period. They should leave. They should divest. Because you're not giving them a reason to stay. I could care less about... I'm all about love. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about black love too. But I'd rather a woman go somewhere where she gonna be loved than to sit here and for me to try to advocate for you dusties with microphones or the black men in general when y'all niggas don't give a damn. You don't care about these black women. You don't. You're a sellout. You like to destroy black women. You like to generalize black women. You get a high off of that. That makes you feel good. After you get off work, if some of you niggas been working, you go straight to TikTok or straight to YouTube, get behind your microphone or get behind your phone and be like, black women are da 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 da. Because you're a sellout. That's what you are.
Look, I agreed with him up to a point until he started ranting and getting emotional. You know what I mean? Just because another race show a black woman attention don't mean they necessarily got the best intentions for them either. You know what I mean? Some of them need them, you know what I mean, for reproduction purposes. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the birth rates of some of these people is going down and lower and lower. You know what I mean? But
right.
Outside of that, I agree with him up to a point until he start just getting too emotional about the shit.
Well, okay, so the things I agree about, there are a lot of panels with men calling women B words. You know what I'm saying? They arguing back and forth talking about they ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but
people are saying, like, if you treat black women like that, do you treat your mom like that?
All black men don't.
And if you're not interested in black women, then why get on a panel and argue up and down with them if that's not what you're really for? But some people just do that for content. If we keep it all the way 100, some people just do that for content.
I feel like if he was talking about them panel niggas, he need to just be talking about them panel niggas. You can't just put the action of them panel niggas on every nigga. Even though I know some niggas be doing that shit. But you just can't. No, they shouldn't stay with the black men. No, y'all. I hate when they just make it seem like the black man and the black woman is just one entity, and there's different types of them within both groups. You know what I mean? Some on the fuck shit, not on the fuck shit. You don't generalize the ones that's not on the fuck shit with the fuck shit. Just making them all sound like the same motherfuckers. I just don't like when motherfuckers do that shit. You know what I mean? Separate them niggas. If it's the panel niggas you're talking about, talk about them panel niggas. Don't group up all black men with the motherfuckers. Because them panel niggas is lame as a motherfucker. I understand what he talking about. I agree with that.
Right.
The black niggas up with them. Every nigga ain't the same. I don't agree with them lame ass niggas either. Them niggas weird ass niggas.
I thought this video was it's a little, I think it can fall into the subject, so let's see what it's about.
Are y'all seeing it now? Do y'all get it now? I have so many posts on this account talking about this same thing right here. Look at how vibrant the world used to be back then. Filled with personality. This goes for businesses, this goes for furniture. This pretty much applies to everything on the outside world. The society used to be different. And just so y'all can see that I'm not capping, look at what's parked in front of me. What color are these cars in front of me? Imagine showing up to the supermarket, showing up to your job, and this is how the parking lot looked like. Creativity is at an all-time low, and that's because the corporations got greedy, and it's all about consumerism. This is how parking lots look nowadays. monotone, lifeless. Wherever you show up, I don't care if it's at a supermarket, if you go to the DMV, showing up to this parking lot, you don't think that you're gonna have a different sense? You're gonna feel more creative? It's the little things that we don't think about that's affecting our everyday routine. Things used to be about personality back then, individuality, uniqueness. Now everybody's trying to copy everybody. Everything's the same. They got us like robots out here. Get with the program so then you could get out of the program. It's really up to us at this point. And I wonder if there's ever gonna be a renaissance in art again.
Yeah, I feel that you can put that with relationships too, because sometimes we fall for the same thing going over and over, dating the same spirit in different bodies and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And sometimes we go with the trend. You know what I'm saying? Like when the BBLs and stuff was popping, everybody was trying to get that, When people was treating their men like shit, people started doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's all like a trend. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's following everybody. When I was growing up, yeah, we did have a lot of different colors, a lot of vibrant colors. It was very colorful. Now it is dulling down a little bit. Yeah, you still see your little sprinkle of like reds and greens and stuff like that, but it's not like how it was back in the day. Now you have to like really get your shit customized and get it painted the way you want it done, but when you go into a car lot to buy a vehicle, damn, you see white, gray, black, red.
It's like a one size fits all type of situation. Everybody trying to model themselves off of something else that they think they want, or they think something that they want. You know what I mean? That's why you see a lot of people dressed the same type of hairstyles, makeup. They imitate stuff that they see on television because people gravitate to stuff like that. So they think that somebody might gravitate to them or something might gravitate to them. You know what I mean? Because they gravitated to this shit that they're imitating.
Right.
Everything it's a copy culture. You know what I mean? People are afraid to not be accepted, so they don't really be themselves. How many people just imitate something else, like
just to fall into the crowd, or just to be a part of the group or be a part of the team, and they really not into that, but they love being a part of that group.
Yeah, and it's like a lifelong journey is finding yourself. That's a lifelong journey, finding out who the fuck you is, because there's everything out here is meant to influence you, or you know what I mean, turn you one way or another. What way would you turn if there was no influence? You know what I mean?
Right.
Good, bad, or otherwise. Where would you go? That's you.
Right. And we all know, you know what I'm saying, everything was already, what they say, the wheel was already created. You know what I'm saying? You might make it roll a little bit better, a little bit faster. You know what I'm saying? It's like what they say, nothing new under the sun. You feel me? You take what you take and you make it your own, and you either make it better or you make it like trash. You know what I'm saying? It's a learn and learn thing. You feel me? Like
everything is just another version.
You learn to get better. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like jazz was a preamble to hip hop. You know what I mean? Like it came
right.
Hip hop. You know what I mean? Like without jazz, would there be hip hop? Without different, type of musical entities, would there be hip hop? Would there be rock? You know what I mean?
Right.
Without air, would there be water? Without water, would there be air? You know, they say that air is the less dense form of water. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we are all created of water, so I can't really say that that's, you know what I mean? We're mostly water,
right.
So I can't really say that that's a misnomer.
Right.
It makes
I'm
sense.
like zoning out because this weed was actually good. It's called Kosher Dog, and it's by Essence. Man.
Kosher Dog. Keep it kosher, nigga.
Keep it kosher. They did their big one on that one. That one was like it's good. It's good, you guys. It's good. Anyway.
I just saw a TikTok where this black woman said she feels like black men are obsessed with black women in their natural hair, and it's weird to her. While her caption was this. Come again, say what? So it's weird that black men love black women with their natural hair more than they like them with all the weave and shit, right? Us having that preference and loving that on y'all more is giving sassy. It's giving the G in LGBTQ. What? Then I'll read some of her comments, and she's like, it shouldn't matter as long as she looks good. Da, da, da. Look, this is what you got to understand. We have our preference the same way y'all have y'all preference. Y'all preference is maybe dark skin, brush waves, teeth, whatever. Or maybe like the light skin with like the sides, whatever. Y'all have y'all preferences. Why can't we have ours? And then this took me back to thinking about a video I saw where these dudes was going around asking black men and black women. They asked the black men, what do you prefer, a natural body or the BBL? All of them said the natural body. They asked the black women in the same vicinity, do you think black men like natural bodies more or BBLs? All of them said the BBL. You failed miserably. Reason being, I'm saying you failed miserably. That just goes to show that y'all are not listening, nor do y'all care to listen or want to listen to what it is that we like. Y'all just want to do what the fuck y'all want to do. And that's cool to an extent, but then there becomes a disconnect when you get with somebody who is vocalizing and expressing that, hey, I like you with your natural hair more. I like to see you like that more. You're so, you know what I'm saying? And you choose to not listen. You choose to not hear him. You choose to not give a fuck. And that's the problem. Y'all don't give a fuck. So not only did that tell me that y'all don't give a fuck to listen, what it also gave, and this is not to bash women, this is just observing. This also told me a possibility, that there is a possibility that we love y'all and y'all natural more than y'all love y'all and y'all natural. And that's the fucking bomb right there. That's the heavy one. That's it right there, I feel like. Because why is it that we loving y'all with y'all natural, we love y'all regardless, especially me. I love black women regardless of whatever the fuck they got going on, but I do prefer a natural hair woman. Am I gonna make a fucking hoot and holler about it? No. But if I date you and you always, or if you're somebody that always has like weave in your head, I'm 100% gonna ask you if I can see you without all of that shit in your head before I even like think I'm gonna take you serious. And reason being is because I have a standard. I love a natural beauty. I need to see what you look like raw, unfiltered, uncut. If you are gorgeous, raw, filtered, and uncut, inside and out, yes. If you're not, no. And what does that boil down to? Preference. Again. But it's like we can't have our preference, but y'all can have all the preference in the world. That shit's no. Then she made the argument of, does your mother, your sister, your grandmother, your auntie, da da da, do they wear natural? Yes. My mother has always had natural hair. The only time she's had any hair in her head that was not hers was when she got braids back when I was in elementary school. And her hair has always been long, so it wasn't like there was a shitload of bundles in her head. Never that. My grandmother is also someone who has naturally long hair. My grandmother, to mine, as long as I've been alive, I've never seen any weave or anything in my grandmother's hair. Not fucking once. My sisters, they are young.
Yeah, I would think that having saying that natural hair would be empowering, you know, but I just feel like he was going on a little bit long, you know what I mean? And he grouped women to the same group based off of one female, you know, statement. He should have just addressed her solely instead of just making it seem like y'all. But outside
Right.
of that, I would think that it would be empowering. But I can understand that if you're addicted to something, if you get it taken away, you're gonna have your apprehensions about the shit at first. You take crack away from a crackhead, they ain't gonna like that shit at first. Not saying that, you know what I mean, she a weave head or anything like that. But
Right.
that might be a natural defense. You know what I mean? It may not make no damn sense to us. You know what I mean? But that just might be some shit to say at the moment. Who knows?
Plus,
A lot of us change our hair and stuff just for fashion, just for a style, just for a look. You know what I'm saying? It's like
this Nina, new Nina Rice, you know.
Hey sis.
I just wanted to chime in and say too, like he said, because when he said like that, I'm not saying she's a weave addict or nothing. What he mean is like there's a reason that she chooses to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, of course, you could come and say, "Oh, you don't need that and this and that," but let's be real. Growing up in Black households, you get disciplined for having your hair, you know, a certain ways. So you know, if you grew up and you walk in a room and your mom say, "I know you ain't about to go out the house like that," then you think, "Okay, I'm not allowed to leave the house looking a certain way, so I won't." And it's hard to stop doing it if you were programmed to do that.
Not only that, sis, like I know when I was growing up back then, people got clowned, people got dissed for wearing their hair naturally.
And sometimes it's by the same men who now they want to say, "Oh, I prefer a natural woman." Y'all was the same ones laughing and people
and why they prefer that now? Oh, did y'all have an experience?
Right, you had
somebody that wasn't a woman. Like I don't know, like what's the tea?
I mean, he's not wrong about that. Everybody deserves to have their preference, and
right.
Back to what's in the guy they trying to cancel for saying he preferred to make sure that his kids is raised the way he wants them raised. Everybody's entitled to raise their kids the way they want. Everybody's entitled to love who they want. All of that. Like why? Exactly. Okay, when it's them making a choice, then it should be choices. But when it's somebody else, you should have to choose what they want you to choose.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
A lot of time in society now, we want people to take accountability, but most people tend to push off their responsibilities on somebody else. You know what I mean? They can't take blame for somebody. Not saying that that's that guy. I'm just saying in general, accountability has been my thing. Like a lot of people run away from accountability. You know what I mean? And that don't do shit but make you weaker. You know what I mean? That don't do shit but make you weaker. It stunts your growth. You know what I mean? And with black women, a lot of the time, I think that a lot of this shit comes from pain and shit that's unhealed. You know what I mean? And stuff that people taking accountability of that they shouldn't, and some stuff that people ain't taking accountability of that they should. You know what I mean? And we putting shit off on other motherfuckers, and you know what I mean? I feel like people just need to heal and take accountability. And then
and healing is every day.
Yeah.
Hey, it's okay to love each other again. I see it so much we be acting like you can't go back and do this, you can't go back and do that. Yes, you can. If we both grew up, we can. We just got to do it the right way this time. If we're going to try it again, let's try it right. It's okay to love you again. I'm going to just love you the right way. And you got to love me the right way. And let's do this the right way. Believe that.
Hey, sometimes it's as simple as that.
Right.
Yeah, that's simple.
Especially if you're on the same page and you know, you did what you did, I did what I did. We both took accountability. Main part, accountability. Without accountability, there's no trust. You know, you can't build trust without accountability. If you can't be accountable for the shit that you do, how the fuck am I going to be able to trust you?
Right. From my past experience, that shit don't never work. It don't never work. They thought they have grown. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We thought we could do it. You know what I mean? But then you know what happens? They start resurfacing all that old stuff, the past stuff. They couldn't let it go. They wouldn't let it go. It kept coming up.
They
That
was
means they didn't let go. They ain't healed from
exactly.
the shit.
They were
Right.
pretending to be healed just long enough to get back in.
You know what that do? That puts you in a loop, a cycle.
Exactly.
And
That
every
sound like a person that don't want you to be with nobody else and would lie and say they had growth just to have you.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it would come down to where we don't have to rush. We can love each other without being in a relationship too. That's what people fail to realize. They think
Exactly.
because you love someone, you have to be with them and live in the same house and all this and that. Like no, the fact that we love each other mean if this real love, then it's supposed to be long ass time. So there's no reason to rush in this.
Right.
That means that we could take all the time we need for me to see if you really grew or not. And sometimes, let's be real, in order to know if somebody grew, you have to put them in a situation where they got to prove that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody say, "Oh, I don't drink alcohol no more." Of course they're not if it's because they're broke, but you got to wait till they get money and is in a situation
Right.
pressure to drink and they still don't. Okay, now I can accept the fact that you really have changed. Other than that,
Exactly.
hey, look, outside of that changing, sometimes the choices you made lead you to a different reality. Sometimes that leads you to a different reality. Based off of the shit that we've been through, sometimes I can't be with you. Not in this reality. Maybe in a different reality. You know what I mean?
yeah, and it depends on what we broke up for. Cause like if I told you there was one specific thing that if you ever did, I would never talk to you again, and you did it, then that meant you had no desire to be with me because you knew what the standard was and you played too much.
Right. And sometimes, like the way things going in the world now, sometimes it's not good to resurface something that went wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like if that relationship ended and it was all bad, you know what I'm saying? It was toxic or something like that. Maybe it's not a good idea to revisit that and see if you can actually work and stuff because now people are losing their life.
Yeah, left and right. It's every time you turn on the TV,
People are still hurt.
it's ridiculous.
Especially if you're dealing with somebody who's just really haven't been able to control their emotions. People, they just can't control their emotions right now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They control themselves.
Right.
You could a lot of shit can change in a second. You know what I mean?
Yup, literally.
Right.
Change in a second.
Like I feel words of the day is like communication and comprehension.
Yup, because even if somebody hears you, if they can't comprehend, it don't even matter.
Do you hear me or are you listening? There's a big difference. What the hell? What Beanie Siegel say?
That part.
The most difficult thing about communication is where you come to that little frustration patch because someone's not understanding what you're trying to communicate or convey, so you kind of shut down because they're not comprehending what you're trying to say. Mm-hmm. And in a relationship, I think that your partner's comprehension is your responsibility.
I think they cut that off before he can explain it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? How I'm gonna be responsible for what this motherfucker comprehend and understand. Sometimes people be playing, they understand, but they play dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Remember, I'm big on saying sometimes you have to communicate on how a person can receive it. Like I'm saying, like if you talking to a hood chick or a ratchet chick and she only talk that certain lingo, you have to get at her on her levels so she can understand what you're saying. Because sometimes if you talk at your elevation, they're not going to get it. You're going to have to dumb it down. And then they're going to pick holes and stuff. And they're going to be like, oh, they're going to translate it differently. They're going to take it this way and stuff like that. Sometimes keeping it simple is keeping it sweet.
I'd be like, you should be able to understand the basic conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, you should be you should be able to. You know what I'm saying?
Your motherfucking ass.
Too, sometimes we gotta start having compassion when we communicate with people too. Because, like for instance, let's say you get mad because somebody's ignoring you, and then later on you find out that they're deaf. How bad would you feel?
Yeah.
Very bad.
Right.
It's the same.
Right.
sometimes even though people can, hear you, they just literally cannot comprehend or understand what you're saying to them. Or if you find out somebody speak another language, you're not gonna get mad at them for not understanding yours. You would just say,
right.
We can't communicate this way.
That's why I try not.
And people learn differently. People got different learning capabilities, and some are just not able to comprehend.
Yeah, that's why I just try not to take shit personally and generally.
Right.
Unless something is specifically said with my name or a motherfucker. I know that unless I know they fucking talking about me or talking to me specifically disrespectfully. You know what I mean? Other than that,
Right.
all the innuendo, nigga, I'm not catching shit, nigga. You better give it to me.
Right.
Tell me. Outside of that, I'm not getting offended.
That's growth right there. What?
Yeah.
I used to think that communication was key until I realized that comprehension is. I can say everything the right way, be as clear as possible, but if you don't want to understand me, then it's just silent chaos. I shouldn't have to beg you to hear me. I shouldn't have to repeat myself or break things down, tiptoe around my words just so you don't twist them into something that they're not. You don't listen to understand. You listen to react. You listen to defend yourself. You listen just enough to argue back. And I'm exhausted because no matter how many times I try to explain, you only hear what you want to hear. You take my feelings and you make them about you. You turn my words into a battle that I never even wanted to fight, but I'm done. I'm done trying to make you see my side. Done trying to prove that my feelings are valid. If you wanted to understand me, you would. If you cared, you would. You see, real connection doesn't take convincing. It just flows. It feels safe.
Look, sis. Like the last nigga said, if your job that your partner comprehend your bullshit, you know what I mean? If your
Right.
job, they can't comprehend if your job, if your
She's
fault.
saying that I feel like she's saying that I'm tired of keeping it simple and we keep going over and over it, instead of you listening and understanding. You just trying to defend yourself. You just listen for something to react to. You're not trying to see my point of view from it. You're not trying to put yourself in my shoes and look at it how I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have to step outside ourselves and look at it from a different point of view.
Hey, look. But
you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not about us.
Look, he can't comprehend it, and it's her job to make sure he comprehend it, or it's her fault. That's what the last nigga said. It's her fault. Nigga, if this nigga don't understand what the fuck she's saying.
But what she's saying is they don't want to understand it. They don't care to understand what you're saying. That means they don't care about you, bro. They don't care about you. They're not trying to really sit there and understand what you're trying to convey to them. That means they don't care about your feelings at that moment. You feel me?
Not all the time. Not all the time. I'm gonna be honest. There was a time with Nina where it was after a few years she was telling me something, and after a few, I didn't get what the fuck she was saying until after a few years. I was like, oh, that's what the fuck he was talking about. I get it now. My bad. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? So that shit happens. You know what I mean? So I ain't gonna lie, that shit be happening sometimes. But sometimes, nigga, that's just me though. It happened to me.
Like you said, sometimes you just gotta step outside yourself and the situation and see it for what it is.
Oh yeah. I wasn't able to realize that shit until I did that shit.
To
be honest.
People got to stop. Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
Because like, for instance, I used to do this with people sometimes. Like, if they're doing something to me I don't like, and I low key, I know they know it's wrong, but because it's dumb, they think you're just supposed to put up with it. So
yeah, that motherfucker do that. Yeah.
Right.
So I'll tell them a story, and I'll be like, "Do you know that Dave?" And I'll just make somebody up. had the nerve to do this to me, and I'll tell them exactly what they're doing to me, but tell them somebody else did it. And they, you know how what worked up they'll get, ain't no way that person, I can't believe somebody had the nerve to do that to you. That's ridiculous.
Right.
You put your foot down. You better not never let nobody make you feel that way or do that to you. And I'd be like, oh, so you do know what you're doing is wrong. You do know that is
right.
Not shouldn't be tolerated. I just wanted to see, you know, if you knew you was wrong or if you thought this was acceptable. Now we know. You was thinking I'm supposed to let you slide because it's you.
Right.
Motherfucker, what's special about you, motherfucker? Like,
Exactly. Why do you feel like you have so much power?
And that's another thing. People be entitled. Like, who the fuck are you to be so entitled? Like, motherfucker, niggas be walking around like, I'm a god, this, I'm a god. Nigga, you don't act like one motherfucker. God wouldn't do that shit, niggas. Like, what the you're you.
You said, what would God do, huh?
Yeah, like, these niggas is God. Not that. Not doing that. Nigga,
right.
You're a lesser form of something. I don't not know God. I know. You know what I mean? Like, people need to get over themselves. Right.
Right.
Like in order to do that, they'll get into themselves. And then that's better than being over yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And once you do all that, you'll be able to get up under someone else.
Man, I'm gonna just be honest with you real quick, man. I think we losing sight of how much it all matters. Like real connection, like real teamwork, real emotion. When's the last time that someone that you loved looked you in your eyes and said, I got you. I get you, I see you, I hear you. I'm willing to make those type of adjustments for you. When's the last time someone looked in your eye and said, what does it look like to receive abundance together? And how do we get there as a team? How can we strengthen our bond together? How can we better support each other? Matter of fact, let's discuss this over dinner. Let's discuss this over a trip, a weekend getaway, something. Because what's love without detail? Get clear on what you want to be aligned with and what you want to be partnered with. Right? You can't settle because you know that settling leads to stress. Because you know that settling leads to resentment and regret. And you don't want that in your life. And I can make an argument that choosing your partner will probably be the most important decision in your life because you know what your life looks like with the wrong person. So imagine the impact and the growth and the love that you can have with the right one. Cling on to that. Hold on to that. That's yours. Right? But you don't need another clone. But I know what you want. You want someone to fully accept you. And I hope, I pray, and I hope that you just get that love on God.
Yeah. In order to get that, you got to get that to yourself first.
Right.
And then that should have come back.
I agree.
That should have come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Listen, fellas, if you're dating a woman and you're just not getting the respect out of her, you're not getting the femininity, you're not getting the submissiveness out of the woman that you're dealing with, more than likely it's something dealing with you and it's your actions. And I hate to say it because most of my videos are pro male or advocating for men, but honestly, if you want that woman to respect you, you have to show her that you care. You have to show her that you're interested in her, bro. Like, you don't even have to break the bank, bro. Like, listen, like, if she works a regular full week, like 40 hours, right? This is what you do. On Sunday morning, take her to Target, Walmart, Myers, whatever the case may be. Get her some groceries for the week, right? After you do that, fill up her tank for the week, right? After you fill up her tank for the week, y'all go ahead and get y'all a little lunch. Go get some smoothies, some ice cream, whatever the case may be, right? Now, mind you, you probably spent $150, but you just made sure this girl was able to get back and forth to work for a week, and she could eat 3 times a day for a week without having to touch her bread or her money. That shows her that you genuinely care about her well-being way more than it would if you took her to a 5-star restaurant, gave her the biggest steak, the most entrees, and spent $5,000 at the restaurant. I'm trying to tell you, it's all about your actions sometimes, guys. I know as men, we like to believe that all these women are crazy and they wired this type of way, but no. Sometimes it's our actions that reflect these women's actions, honestly.
You know, I don't like
Yeah.
that submissive. I don't like that word submissive. It make me feel
Right.
lesser. It make me feel like I'm the boss. Like that, I don't like that word submissive. That don't sound like a partnership to me. That sounds like a motherfucker and an ego. I just don't like that word submissive. And I don't know why niggas just, I don't know, that word just don't feel right to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't be having the problem that these niggas be having with their women. You know, with my wife. You know what I mean? And I don't like that word submissive. Like, what the fuck is up with that shit? That shit just seems weird to me. Submissive. You gotta take my bullshit. What the fuck do that submissive word mean? It just suggests a lot. That's a suggestive word. You know, it's just a tricky language we're dealing with. We deal with the English language.
Exactly. I like to each his own. That was the last video. I think we touched on a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself on what you really want and who you really want to be with and how you want your future to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, work for the stuff you want, you know, don't give up easily. If it's worth fighting for, then fight for it. But if the fighting is on you, then leave that shit be. Leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, relationships are complicated because you're dealing with different people, you know, feelings, emotions, or whatever you want to say. You know, you're dealing with a lot. And then you got outside, you know, things you got to deal with, family you got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's just you and your significant other, everything runs a lot smoother.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think we always complicate the shit, you know, more so. I think people complicate shit when they don't be honest with themselves, like you said. When they don't be real, they don't be honest, you know what I mean? And they project. They don't take accountability.
Right.
You don't take accountability for your bullshit, you start blaming motherfuckers for shit. You know what I mean? So we project. You know what I mean? Growth can't be had that way.
Exactly.
It's impossible.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank y'all for watching and everything. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to drop some good things in the comments. You know, give us your thoughts on the videos that were showed. Let us know what you want us to do for you. Let us know what you want to see. You know what I'm saying? Spam it up.
Yep. Leave it in the
Spam
comments.
it up. We got time today. You feel me? So yeah. You got anything to say?
No, not too much.
Not too much.
It's accountability, you know what I mean? Just always think about what your best outcome is. You know what I mean? Don't dwell on what you don't want. Focus on what you do want and move and take steps towards that. You know what I mean? You'll be straight.
I agree.
You'll be straight.
So you guys, until next time.
Shout it.